I was a little nervous about meeting Stan because when my husband read the things the other day, he ran right up to the computer to get all about you. So he comes down with all these pages and says, "Oh, you got to do this." So fortunately, I called Virginia and she said, "No, it's all in the book. You just have to do the introductions." Okay. Also from the class of 1954, a lady that we have seen or met at other times here, and this is Doris Lipson Sassower. She's a lawyer and a social justice advocate who was profiled in the book Feminists Who Changed America from 1963 to 1973. She worked to end practices that discriminated against women. No phone? Oh. I have such a loud voice all the time. I don't think I need a microphone. Sorry if you missed it back there. Doris was the youngest woman elected president of the New York Women's Bar Association and the youngest and the first woman practitioner nominated for New York's highest court. Today we kind of take these things for granted, but she was definitely was and is a pioneer. Doris?
In order to avoid the Mahler's skyhook, I'm going to do a couple of things different. I'm going to eliminate the usual salutations, and I am going to keep it short by having a prepared statement on a slightly different perspective, which I hope you will all enjoy. Congratulations to all my fellow awardees and to the devoted staff of Brooklyn College for the great work they do. On this special day for me and Brooklyn College, I want to give heartfelt thanks to my beloved family for coming from far and near to honor not only me, but their parents and grandparents. Education was a priority for my beloved mother, Rose Weiss, and adored father, Abraham Lipson. As refugees from Galicia in Eastern Europe, my parents, like so many of their generation, braved the pogroms of the turn of the 19th century and fled across the Atlantic to make a better life for their children, which, in the case of my family, numbered 5, of whom I was the youngest. As penniless refugees, our parents never had the opportunity of a formal education, but their zest for learning was such that Rose won the Tennyson Prize at evening night school, and Abe continued his study of the Talmud while running their self-styled public art store in Williamsburg on the ground floor of the house we lived in at 320 Bedford Avenue and South 2nd Street. My parents' passion was such that each of my 4 brothers and sisters, as well as myself, got degrees from Brooklyn College. 1949, my freshman year at BC, doesn't seem to me that far away in time and space. The autumn leaves turning colors and falling in much the same way they are doing today on this crisp September morning. Skirts were fuller and lengths much longer, and expectations from some of my male professors were much lower for my gender. However, my mother, Rose, was a great role model before the coining of that term. Our family functioned as a Jewish version of Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, with the ever-responsible and kind-hearted Rose tending and tailoring for her sisters and then five children of her own. Long before entrepreneurship for women came into vogue, Rose pioneered flex time, balancing her work in the store with the cooking and cleaning chores of a large family in the days before dishwashers, microwaves, and laundry machines. So much has flowed through the river of time that has changed us in these past 65 years. Back then, when I was 17, for the most part, I personally never felt the sting of discrimination as a BC student for 3 years. That happened only when, before my senior year, I started law school on a full tuition scholarship. I knew then that was something I would dedicate myself to legal reform. Brooklyn College ignited the passion for learning and pursuing justice that my parents in Williamsburg instilled in me. I worked in my parents' store while going to school, all through my formative years, reading a pile of books by the large cash register while my mother took care of my father, who had lost an eye to cancer. These were challenges. Those were the days. A hard but worthy, self-sacrificing life for my parents. With gratitude to you all, I accept this award, a most memorable milestone in my life, in their names. And I also won't take time to make the introductions of my family, but they will be at a table inside at lunch. And for those who would like to meet some of them who are here and see photographs of my mama and papa, I will be happy to share them with you.